Hey, welcome back to Riot Updates with Love. This is going to be the preseason changes of 2021 game plans. So they're gonna, last year for the 2020 preseason, they did the big Eternals update. The big Eternals update that introduced the elemental dragons and how they affect the rifts. It also added like the blast cones, honey fruit, vision plants, that kind of thing. Now, we didn't know anything about the elemental. We just got the leaks and everything. But this time, Riot looks like is going to be taking a different approach, sharing our goals for preseason 2021 gameplay changes. So last year we didn't know much. Now they're actually asking our opinion on it. So let's just read along. Hey everyone, it might feel real weird to talk about preseason in June, but we want to start the conversation early so you have plenty of time to prepare and give feedback. We developed last year's preseason Rise of the Elements. We wanted to expand and evolve League of Legends in an unexpected and exciting way. Elemental rifts add even more spice and each game of League of Legends presents a new challenge. When looking all over of the possibilities of the year's preseason, we decided to take a different approach. This year, we're going to invest League's future by building up and refining one of League's fundamental gameplay systems. And as you can tell from up here, it's going to be the item or the shop, or the item changes shop. Like Triforce looks really, really nice right here. Really, really clean. Like even the mask looks a lot cleaner here than it does in game at the moment. Not exactly sure what this is or like this, but I think they're going to be changing a few of the items and the overall look of the shop. It looks like. So it's worth saying that there are a lot of satisfying, well designed items in the current system. That is, most of the item system's fundamentals are solid. Okay. It is worth saying that a lot of the items are satisfying, well designed, and the system's fundamentals are solid. Okay. Keeping the best part of the system is one of our central philosophies. We only want to improve or replace the areas that aren't fulfilling their potential. In terms of change, we are estimating something like 34 retained, 33 improved, and 33 new. So looks like 34% of it will stay the same. As you can see, some of these like grayed out items will probably not be changed. But I'm pretty sure this is just a graphic to give us an idea. 33 will be improved and 33 new. So like all the grade ones are 34%, can not be changed. The improved are the this one, and then the new will be like this, and this. So, interesting. The first step is to revisit and refine our stance on the item system that is meant to do for League and what the ideal item system would look like. Here are our current principles and some thoughts on how close to the ideal we are today. Items improve power for early game consequences and high moments. The core reason for the item system existence is so that players become more powerful over the course of the game at different paces. With early access generating golden, that pushes your item build ahead of your opponents. Every outplay or misplay creates consequences for your power later in the game, but not so much that comebacks are impossible. This ensures that there is meaning to actions of all stages of the game that enables the rare but extremely satisfying game where you do individually carry. Very good. When Riot says individually carry, I disagree with that because it's so hard to individually carry. You honestly need 3 people to win your lane to have a positive chance for win. But then there's even like those 2 other players could be feeding. But like you can't individually carry. Like personally, I'm an AD carry main, and it's an AD carry. You have another role specifically designed to protect you, the support. So, if AD carries are not able to win the game with their support because they're just so bad right now. I mean, recently they have gotten some health buffs, so that is nice. But individually going back to the individually carrying aspect, I don't think this current assessment very good is a very good assessment. I honestly think it should be neutral, like iffy, or just good. But that's just my stance. We're feeling pretty good about the state of snowball and power curves in the current game. The preseason shouldn't dramatically shift the overall power and gold efficiency of these items. Okay. Items are satisfying to earn and use. Each game is a miniature RPG loop where your champion powers up from weak to godlike strength. The item system is key to making the ascent to power feel earned and satisfying. Current assessment, good. The gold system for earning items rewards skilled play, however, while there are many iconic and satisfying items in the system today, there are a lot of others hidden, hard to notice power that makes them feel weak or unsatisfying. Yeah, I mean, they make a good point. But RPG loop for the power for your champion power from weak to godlike. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like that, how each game you do start from level 1, honestly, and then you scale up. Instead of like each game you're like, oh, I've already got all this, like in any other like single player multiplayer game, you carry over your stats, you know? I like how League, you always start with level 1 and you can build whatever you want from there out. So, going on to the next point. Reactive item choices and added... going on to the next one. Reactive item choices add game-to-game variance and reward strategy. Unlike runes, you can continuously adjust your item build based on what is happening in the game. We want players to read and react each game's unique happenings with start item choices that lead to higher success than if they build the same things in the same order every time. Yeah, I agree. That needs to be changed, because I don't like building the exact same item every single game, like the exact same 6 items every single game, just because they're the best on the champion. I want to say I'm playing AD carry again, and the entire enemy team is like 4 mages and 1 AD damage, or basic attack or AD damage, you know. So, but there's not very many magic resist items for an AD carry, so I would like a little more variance. So, I do like the current assessment. Okay. For some champion classes like tanks, the item systems offers rich strategic depth choices. On the other hand, we have a number of classes and champions with linear builds without room for adaptation. Mages items are particularly solved. Yeah, mage items, you pretty much go the same shit over and over and over. Items argument for champions playstyle. Full item build should integrate a slight gameplay twist or addition to the champion's play pattern that doesn't override the champion's kit. A perfect example of this today is Triforce, which adds a nuance but not overly complicated new auto attack pattern. Not every item should do this individually, or else a full build would be asking you to do too many things at once. The current assessment is okay. This depends heavily on which class or champion you'd like, with some being about right, some not enough new interest. This depends heavily on which class or champion you would like, with some being about right, some with not enough new interest, highlights the marksman, yes, and some with too many effects that overshadow their champion's kit, enchanters. So it looks like the mages, because it sounds like they're wanting to improve the items so they're not overwhelming to the champion's kit. Like, you need this item to make this kit work, but at the same time they don't want to buff the champions that are about right. But as well as they're trying to create new interest for the marksman role, because it is the least played role at the moment. The item system is intuitive with deep, complex item system. The choice, the stats, the ways you acquire items should be clear and intuitive. Yeah, this is very, very poor. A noob coming into League, like, they're just gonna buy the recommended. They're not gonna know what it means. They're not gonna know if, like, if they're gonna come in and play Garen, they go buy Triforce, and then they start building like Sterax, and the rest go tank. They're not gonna understand what each of those items do for Garen per se. There's not enough like information that says, okay, well, this item is good if you're going against this team. And so I honestly don't think the shop is very, very good for noobs. When I first played, I was super confused. There were so many items, and this was back in Season 5. Like, there was a lot of items back then. There's a lot of items now that they still have. But back then, I remember I was like, oh, okay, this gives me power. Back then, I didn't know the difference between AD and AP. So I was like, oh, this gives me power. And I was building, like, Infinity Edge, Rod of Ages, and Death Cap on Teemo. Like, I didn't know what to build. So I do agree that this current assessment is very, very poor. This is clear. This is a clear area of improvement for us for many years, navigating the shop, the way stats stack and interact, and understanding trade-offs between item uniques and pass and stats are all areas that we can improve. A lot of prospective players who might love League are scared away by the impenetrable item system in their first few games. We believe learning the item system over time is a key part of growing as a League player, but the unintuitive system can be a roadblock to believing it's possible to achieve that growth. Yes, I've actually tried to get a few people that I know IRL to start playing League with me, but like after a week or a month of me pretty much begging them to come play with me, they finally do, and but their interest is very, very short. So I do that it is a unintuitive system, and it can be a roadblock to newer players. So let's see what their goals for the preseason are. With a refined understanding of the ideal system and where we're falling short, we've established our goals for this year's preseason work. Item purchasing is quick and intuitive. Every champion can make a strategic decision through the item choices in every game. Item builds enabled exciting ways to master your champion. Items can feel especially epic. Items feel like epically powerful and enhance your champion's fantasy. Iconic items are retained, and you don't have to relearn everything from scratch. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be keeping keeping a lot of the old. So what they're trying to do is buff the items, make items feel epically powerful. I guess they're going to make items flashy or something to make them like stand out, be like, hey, you got this item, and then when you like use it, when you proc the active or the passive on whatever item that we're going to talk about, it's going to be like epically powerful. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with that one, honestly. Let's move on. Polishing every item. Beyond our goals for the project overall, we laid out some principles we think items should meet in order to hit our highest design quality. Items have a clear, unique, single purpose. So are they gonna take away double passives and shit? Or like an active and a passive? Are they gonna just keep an active and take away the passive, or keep the passive and take away the active? I'm not exactly sure. We want every item in the shop to have a clear purpose that sets it apart from the other choices in the shop. Multiple items overlap in purpose, or items with confused or conflicting mechanics undermine the clarity of the choices and bloat the system overall. Okay, so like serrated dirk. It honestly, the serrated dirk goes into 4 or 5 different items. Yeah, 5 different items, and they all have that unique passive from the serrated dirk. So I'm wondering, like, well, the lethality items are a very good example because they did just get an overhaul. They are very, very unique now, but they all go out of serrated dirk. So I guess that's a bad example. But I wonder what they're gonna do with that. Are they gonna take away one of the passives on it, like the active or the passive? Let's see. Item fits 1 or 2 archetypes, either contextual purpose or kit augment. In picking apart the successful items that improve the game over the years, we've discovered that items in general can be broken down into 2 major types: contextual purpose, situational items that allow players to counter certain champions or events in their game, like Quicksilver Sash. Okay. And kit augments are items that items are pickable in every game and have satisfying synergy with the champion kits to make them feel more complete. Like Lichbane. Okay, like, yeah, Fizz gets a Lichbane, yeah, it's over. Interesting build paths provide variety and small choice opportunities. Great legendary items, tier 3, have smaller choices peppered through each component, or advanced item choice, small optimizations to respond to lane matchup. Small optimizations to respond to a lane matchup. If I'm building Triforce, do I build Stinger for longer all-ins or Sheen for trades first? Or risk-reward trade-offs around buying all small or saving up for a big component. I have 1100 gold. Do I go for the pickaxe or risk buying a BF sword? Oh my gosh. This right here has happened to me so many times. Most of the time, 50% of the time, I'd say I pick BF sword. The other 50% I pick pickaxe, depending on the matchup. This is a good example of this working well. So like the tier 3 items, like Infinity Edge and Triforce, they're probably not going to have very many changes, because it says right here, have smaller choices peppered throughout each component or advanced item choices. So it's like in Triforce you've got 6 bottom tier items, and then you've got 3 mid tier items that you could buy in the Nashor's Tooth, the Sheen, and then the Phage, and then of course you've got the Triforce at the top. So if you want to get some movement speed and get a little bit of damage and HP, you'd obviously go for the Phage. If you need better trading capabilities, then you probably would want to go for the Sheen, because you're always running out of mana or something, you know. So it's very interesting that it's very good that they're not going to be changing these items. Item design is elegant, and we use only the mechanics that we need. Over time, a lot of items have been accumulated some unnecessary bloat in the number of stats and the passive effects. We can do the work to focus items into their needed stats and mechanics for them to effectively deliver their purpose. Yeah, so like some items have gotten now an active and a passive and another passive, and like they just have like 3 different like abilities in that one item, and it makes them overpowered, and they say it accumulated some unnecessary bloat in the number of stats and passive effects. Like some of them are just bad. Items contribute to an overall healthy game by not removing counterplay and weaknesses. We all want item systems to move the game closer to its ideal state where all champions have a clear weakness and counterplay, as well as the right durability, utility, and damage output. Reactive or counter item choices could confer an advantage against the right opponent, but not completely negate them. Okay. Additionally, we are meant to come at a significant cost to the champion's ideal build path. For example, diverting into a defensive item should offer significantly less DPS than the pure offensive alternatives, but is still the right choice against the Fed Assassin. Yes, yes. Because, like, even if I build defensive, the Assassin's still going to kill me, no matter what. Especially in a Fed, a fucking Assassin. So, going for a defensive item should offer significantly less DPS, which, yes, it does, but, I mean, it's not that noticeable right now. Ooh, the shop looks nice. Okay, so the big shop upgrade. Last but definitely not least is the shop interface. There is a ton of room for improvement here. While nothing has been finalized yet, we do offer some early concepts to help illustrate some of our design directions. Broadly, there are two main types of users for the shop. So we want to create versions of the interface that serve each player in the ways that we want. In the ways that they want. Okay, so let's take a look at this picture right here. Looks like we've got big purchase bar. We've got recommended, all items, item sets, suggested items. Ooh. Okay, proto belt. It gives like a mobility. Morello's gives like anti-healing. Rabadon's gives AP amplifier. Gives like a kind of description about what the item does. That's really, really cool. And then right underneath it, it shows the champions that it will be good against. And I'm guessing this is per game because I see Cassiopeia in all three of these. So Cassiopeia, Camille, and Senna are all on the enemy team against whoever's playing right here. So looks like Protobelt, it gives like, hey, this item right here is going to be good against the Cassiopeia Camille. And oh, that is super nice. And then we've got a little like hot bar over here that different trinkets. We've got a health potion. We've got the AP potion here that amplifies the AP. We've got the control ward, very nice, and then we've got another one right down here that has the boot lineup. That is I actually really like this setup so far. I really, really do. And then like you can type the search and select all items if you don't want the recommended. I wonder what the all items and the item sets look like. That'll be interesting. Okay, better recommendations. Compared to our current handmade recommendation item pages, we can easily become out of date. We want to directly integrate our data to have always up-to-date recommendations based on highly skilled player choices. Focus not on every item. Focus choices. Not every item is equally viable in any point of a given game. The shop can make it hard to find viable choices since it presents hundreds of options at once. We want rec items to dynamically surface the top few choices to players at any point of the game. Don't remove the strategy. Even though this is more curated. Okay, whatever. Even this is a better shop experience, we still want to present options to players, not a linear build path. Okay. Knowing when it's the right game for Thornmail. I can't speak, I swear. Knowing when it is the right game for Thornmail or Randuin's Omen, it's still a decision to leave to the player. Contextual analysis. Helping less experienced players gain experience with reactive item decision making is a core goal. We are adding some new system to analyze the allies and enemies in each game and showing you which items offer effective counters to or synergies. Okay. Oh, sweet. Here's the all item page. Still, you can see the ward, the health potion, the damage, the adaptive damage potion, and the ward right here. You can still see the boots all along the side here. Let's see. We've got legendary. So let's see. We've got all of the We've got all of the items right here. Looks like you can change. Ooh, looks 1, 2, and 3 tiers of items. I'm guessing that's for prices and early game, late game items. They're going to be separating that kind of thing. Probably price as well. But then you've got like damage. You've got AP. You've got like magic resist, health, and armor right here. And then we've got this last one. Looks like it's an elemental soul dragon, which is interesting. Not exactly sure what that is. Then we can pick like the popular builds. If you're not sure what to build, you can just pick the popular and be like, oh, what is everybody else building? That's pretty cool. And then you got the starter and the basics. Nice. Okay, all items that you need are on one screen. This is the one-stop shop, literally, for an expert player to go and find and purchase items with the fewest clicks possible. Okay, yes. So this does make it really, really nice. With the invested player in mind, we wanted to make this place where items can be placed in logical layouts on the screen, and we move them rarely, if at all. This can allow you to develop muscle memory over time and learn where each item lives in the shop. Yes, don't move the items, don't change their prices, because I just want to scroll, click, boom, done, and be on with my game. Okay. Data enhancements. We also want to integrate our new data capabilities into all item interfaces. To highlight viable items for your champ, finding items and buying quickly will be easier than ever. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really looking forward to this, because these two rough drafts for their new shop system look really, really nice. I do like the recommended a lot, having the like the item, the description, or like what it does or the effects that it has, and then like who it's good against. And I'm assuming that this is going to be per game. Like this bottom part will change per game. But I really like this. I am really, really excited for what they have to do. This is only the beginning of a long and exciting road to preseason. We're revealing our plans as early as possible so that you can see and process as much of your feedback as we can. Thanks again for playing, and we look forward to forging an incredible future for League together. So, that is the new update that League has put out for their preseason gameplay plans. They are telling us way in advance to give us a lot of feedback, and they're very, very good about getting our feedback and listening to us. So definitely let me know down in the comments what other changes you would like. Some champions to be nerfed, champions to be buffed, drags to be nerfed, drags to be buffed, jungle EXP, minion EXP. Just let me know anything else that needs to be changed, and pin it down in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.